Hi guys, Dr. Todd Austin here from Austin Family Chiropractic in Verdon, Illinois, and I'm going to talk to you some more about concussions. On this episode, I'm going to talk about Dr. Omalu, who you have probably seen the movie Concussion. It talks about his story and the research he did. And so essentially, what he's done is some pretty groundbreaking research. And so it all started in 2002 when Mike Webster, former Pittsburgh Steelers player, passed away, killed himself. Dr. Omalu was able to do research on Mike's brain. What he saw was there's an area of the brain in these people that have had repeated concussions. Now, this had previously been shown to happen in the sport of boxing in the past, but it had never been tied to the sport of football until Dr. Omalu's research in 2002. So what happened was there is a part of the brain that, in people that have not had a lot of concussions, we don't see what's called this Tau protein deposition, and it's T-A-U, Tau protein deposition. And so what happens is, in these people that were football players and had repeated blows to the head, what he found is, starting with Mike Webster, is that these guys had these brown deposits, this Tau protein, in their brain in fairly good quantities. And so that's the difference between a football player or a boxer or any kind of person who'd had a lot of repeated blows to the head and the person who didn't have those things. So what happens is CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is what we talk about now with concussions, it can only be diagnosed once someone's dead. So we can't really diagnose someone with CTE until such time as they've died, and someone like Dr. Omalu is able to look at their brain. Now, obviously, if one of these people committed suicide by shooting themselves through the head, it would destroy the brain. So most of these football players that, get the rage and all these other symptoms that go along with CTE, they have been, I guess, kind enough to when they kill themselves, they're usually doing it through the heart, which is in an effort to preserve the brain. So researchers like Dr. Omalu or Dr. Cantu can look at their brains and determine that, yes, indeed, they did suffer from CTE or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. So in 2002, Mike Webster's brain. Then in 2005, Dr. Omalu wrote a research paper, I believe it was in the journal Neurology. He presented that to the NFL. They pretty much laughed at him. In 2007, I believe he wrote another paper, presented it to the NFL. They pretty much laughed at him again. They didn't want anything to do with it. They didn't want to take any responsibility for it. And then what happened was, finally, in 2013, they started taking him a little more seriously. In 2015, the Concussion movie came out. And then in 2016, just last year, the NFL finally admitted some actual, that they acknowledged the link between CTE and repeated concussions from the game of football. So finally, it took from 2002 to 2016 for the NFL to actually say, okay, we basically admit that there definitely could be a relationship. You got to admire Dr. Omalu's persistence in that. But at this point, we know CTE is a big deal. We know that, sometimes we've got these adults that are in their early to mid 40s and they're suffering from dementia pugilistica, I believe, which simply means dementia brought on by repeated blows to the head, whether it's from boxing, football, what have you. A lot of these people have total rage, I guess you've heard the term road rage, but it could be rage with anything. It could be like people that never abused their wife and their kids, now they're abusing their wife and their kids. So just basically very violent they become very violent. They have the Alzheimer's-like symptoms where they're forgetting a lot. It's just a bad deal. It makes sense that we educate parents, we educate children that are going to be playing football and other contact sports about how to prevent concussion if possible, how to treat, or how to diagnose concussion, and how to treat concussion if and when it happens to you or your kid. That's why I'm bringing you these series of videos. So I hope you got some good information out of this, and thank you for watching, and enjoy the football season.